Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, our chemistry channel. This is our chemistry channel. This is for those who are finding chemistry difficult, or you have interest in chemistry, or probably you want to read the chemistry but you know you're not opportuned due to some circumstances beyond your control. You're not opportune to attend any lesson. This is the right spot for you. And probably those who who need chemistry in their course, but they are finding it difficult to learn. This is the place for you. Yeah, if you're yet to subscribe and you're watching me, what are you waiting for now? What are you waiting for, my brother, my sister? Just hit that subscription button in front of you and press the notification bell so that anytime I post new content you will receive it. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I'm grateful. Please keep returning. So today our topic will be introduction to chemistry, but before then, let's get started.
Over the horizon, over the horizon.
Welcome back. So like I said, our topic today is introduction to chemistry. Many of you will be wondering why I'm just introducing this topic now, introducing introduction to chemistry, when it should have been the very first topic in this my YouTube channel. Well, along the way you find out why. Yeah. Now, chemistry has always formed the basis of development. In the early days, long before even our forefathers were born, the early men used to walk about naked. Early men and women, I mean men and women, used to walk around naked with practically nothing but leaves, only leaves covering their private parts, because there were no clothes to wear. And then later it evolved into maybe raffia palms, more and a kind of a jute bags or so, using it to cover maybe parts of the body, or is it raffia palms, and then but still relatively naked. And I used to wonder then whether there was nothing like gold, for them to be walking about like that. But then this God is wonderful. You'll always find a way to make you adapt in any situation you find yourself. Yeah. So that was how they used to live in those days. And then that was for clothing. Then for housing, they used to stay under trees. They used to live under trees for shelter, or a kind of structure built with sticks and then covered with leaves, or stones, using stones to kind of erect a structure, and then stone and sand, and then people will live under it, yeah, comfortably. So I think it was mostly just for you to enter inside and sleep. I don't think there were the other things they used to do. They maybe store some of their items or so. And how many items did they even have then? And even with time it evolved into mud houses. Some of these mud houses are still around. At least I know in my village, I still see some whenever I travel. Yeah, it's a kind of historical monument, so that future generations will see these kind of things. I know that people once lived in this kind of and houses comfortably, and I used to wonder whether there were no thieves in those days, because they 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 practically had no doors. These mud houses, they don't have doors, and they are the opening which serve as the one the where they for entering and the coming inside is a kind of low. It's kind of low, so that if a very tall person will have to really bend to be able to enter. That was also the kind of discomfort people underwent in those days. And then for food, to cook their food, they had to use a stone, striking two stones together to produce light. In fact, I wonder what the kind of magic they used to perform there, because I have tried that. I have tried striking dry stones fervently, and furiously to know whether it can produce fire. But no way. But then they used to do that. I've watched videos of that. In fact, I'll paste a link of a video on my in the description box of how stone striking of two stones and used to produce fire in the early days. However, with the advancement of with the advent of chemistry, all these things are now, they've phased out. If you see a person now walking around with only leaves covering the private part, of course we say this is a mad person now. No same person will be walking around with leaves covering only the private part, because there are clothes now. With the advent of with the advent of chemistry, advancement came forward, and then we can now produce clothes materials where people can buy to use and sew any kind of clothes they want. And also, in the aspect of shelter, you can see different architectural designs springing up in the form of houses. There are some you just see and keep looking. Each day new ones spring up, very beautiful ones, and you just be where you can live comfortably, and so on and safely. So, and that is due to chemistry. And also, for food, we now have stoves, gases, electric stoves, and many kinds of and modern cooking equipment that help to make cooking food comfortable and fast, and and not tedious. Because I'm sure that using of stove must have been a very tedious and a long process. And what if after the fire coming up and rain falls and puts out the fire? That means you'll not eat again now, or you go inside the house and start doing it. So and chemistry and the chemistry advent of chemistry, all these and the world became more advanced, and they're more comfortable and to live in. So, and with this I can say chemistry deals with the composition, properties, and uses of matter. It deals with the composition, properties, and uses of matter, which we have already discussed. We've discussed matter. So chemistry deals with the composition, properties, and uses of it, and it probes into the principles governing the changes that matter undergoes. Those physical and chemical changes, chemistry probes into the principle governing such. This chemistry, there are three branches in pure science. We have chemistry, we have biology, and physics. Chemistry is one of them. Chemistry and biology are the opposite of each other. Chemistry deals with practically non-living things, while biology deals with living things. Now, in studying chemistry, this world is made up of matter. Like I said when we discussed matter, everything around us is made up of matter. So we study chemistry in order to acquire this knowledge about this matter, to acquire knowledge about matter. A chemist, a scientist is never a dullard. Cannot be a dullard and say you're a scientist. When they tell you that this hand is brown, you must perform experiment. You must find out, why is this hand brown? Can't it be any other color? Why is it brown? That is how the characteristic of a scientist. Scientists, we perform experiments and learn to observe, record, and then make intelligent inferences. We perform experiments. That is why I said they cannot tell you that this is this and you just accept it at face value. No, you must probe into the matter to find out whether it is really that and why it is that. So studying chemistry gives us the training in the scientific method. It gives us training in the scientific method, which has to do with this observing something, then experimenting, and then finding out why that thing is really why it is like that. Now, this knowledge and training will now help us to become scientists in the field of chemistry, and such scientists are called chemists. So chemists are not just it's just to a layman that chemists are these people that sell drugs in small shops. A chemist in the real sense of the word, as a scientist, is a scientist that has undergone training in the knowledge of scientific method. That is what a chemist. What these are people called chemists. I'm a chemist. Only that we don't add the prefix to our names. I can't come and just say, my name is Chemist Francis too. It sounds funny. But that is what a chemist is. A chemist has undergone training and knowledge in the scientific method to become a scientist. And such scientists are known as chemists. How has this chemistry helped our lives? How has it helped to improve our lives? Now, just like I said, everything around us is chemistry. All the chemical changes, everyday chemical changes that happen around us, like familiar activities like cooking, roasting nails, rotting leaves, burning firewood, lighting a match. All these are examples of chemical reactions. And also other everyday items we use like soap, detergents, body and hair cream, shampoo, dyes, perfumes, oil, margarine, plastics. All these are made by chemical processes. So they are all examples of chemistry. We now come to scientific method. Like I said earlier, a scientist is not a dullard. A scientist must be alert, inquisitive, curious, smart. You cannot come and tell a scientist that this is pink, and then the scientist accept, okay, it's pink, okay. You must wonder, why is it pink? Can't it be any other color? What made it pink? They must think. Most of the discoveries have been made by scientists over the years. How do they make these discoveries? Now, see how they make these discoveries. First of all, a scientist, like I told you, they use their senses to observe what is happening around them. That's being alert. They use their senses to observe what is happening around them. From that observation, they see a pattern. This now leads to a problem which they try to solve. So this is called observation. They have observed a problem and they want to solve it. They now form a hypothesis. This hypothesis is an explanation for why that problem occurred. It is an explanation of why that problem occurred. That is the hypothesis. Now, they move forward to perform an experiment on that problem to know whether it rhymes with their hypothesis. Now, at the end of the experiment, if the result rhymes with that hypothesis, they now carefully record their results. Then they now they discuss with other scientists. The scientist does not work alone. You must work with others. They now discuss with other scientists. They discuss their results with other scientists, and then all of them they all perform another experiment based on that. And then, if after everything the result of their experiment is within the limits of available evidence, it now becomes a theory. So a scientific theory or principle only becomes a theory. Let's say it's only signed into law after it has been tested and after it has been tested over time without any exception. So in essence, what it means that before a scientific law or theory comes into practice, well, before it is written down for people to be aware of it, before it is accepted, it must have passed through the furnace. It must have been proven and tested over time without any exception before it now becomes a theory or a law, a given theory or a given law. However, if the experiments give negative results, that if it doesn't tally with your hypothesis, then the scientist will have to go back to the drawing board. You modify or form a new hypothesis, and then you start all over again. So this is what is called scientific method. That is what scientific method is all about, and is the very foundation of all scientific research. Yeah, scientific method is the very foundation of all scientific research. Sorry. So with this, we have come to the very end of this particular topic. Stay tuned for next one. Bye, and please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Bye.